Hello, my name is Dwight Gillespie, and this is the Change Your Life channel. And today we're going to do something a little bit different. Oh, if you haven't done so already, of course, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and by all means, comment, share it with your friends and everything. And now, as you may well know, what's near and dear to my heart is fat phobia. We talk about it a lot here, right? And I am a fat phobic person. I don't believe in any of this bullshit about beautiful at any size. I don't believe in healthy at any size. Right? I don't believe in putting anybody down for the way they look. Don't get me wrong. However, this idea that you're okay, it's okay to eat yourself to death because that's what you're doing, to me is the same thing as somebody drinking themselves to death, somebody shooting heroin to death, crack, methamphetamine, whatever your thing is. Food can be the same thing to many people. If you have a problem with food and you're addicted to food, you got to do something about it because it may not be affecting you at 35. But trust me, by the time you get 45, 50 years old, that's going to catch up with you with diabetes, heart disease, joint disease, rheumatoid arthritis, all of these things that are going to be affecting you because you have an inability to kick your food addiction and you have people telling you that it's okay. Right? And I don't care who you are. So we're going to do this. This is my man, David Goggins, right here. I read his book, his first book. I forget the name of that too, but it was a good book. It was very much, right? Okay. Yeah, keep laughing.
Never Finished?
Never Finished. That's the second. But what was the first one?
Never Finished, Unshackle Your Mind and Win the War Within.
Yeah. David Goggins is crazy. Like, he's crazy, man. But I like him. It's motivation and he'll talk about it,
Can't Hurt Me?
Can't Hurt Me. That was it. That was a good book too. I really enjoyed it. And that was, he grew up tough. He had a hard life growing up, and I relate. Much as some people disagree, but anyway, we won't get into my sister's things right now. Anyway, this is David Goggins. This is a clip from him on Joe Rogan, and I love Joe Rogan too. Joe Rogan's another one. Good guy, man. And I like Joe Rogan right from the time he was on news radio. I thought he was great there, and he's just progressed. I followed his career. He's a good guy. He's very funny. And here we go. All right, here it is.
Let me talk to you real quick, brother. People don't like that, man, but I'm not going to allow you to go to a place that's going to be hard to get out of. It's going to be hard. If I allow you to gain 5 more pounds, or allow you to take 4 more days off of school, or allow you to keep on procrastinating in your life, and I see it, and I tell Jennifer behind your back, I'm doing you no justice.
Right. And that's a good point. And I'm going to tell a real quick story with leaving out the names. I had a good friend, and he was, I think he was just 70 years old. Massive heart attack, died. Really good guy. Big guy. I think I may have told this before. I talked about it before. Big gut, smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. His idea of exercise, seriously, was walking from the door to the car. And in Queens, that's like a 15-foot walk. He ate whatever he wanted. We would go to 12-step meetings, and after the meetings, out to the diner and eating it was just not good. Not good. And when he died, he had a very good friend, a guy I know, and he's a runner. This guy's a runner. He's very fit, good guy. And I remember him saying, he says, I wasn't a good friend to him. I wasn't a good friend because they were very close, these two guys, right? They hung out a lot together. They were real close. He said, I watched my friend eat and smoke himself to death, and I never said a word. And if he was using drugs, I would have said something to him. If he was using drugs, I would have asked him to get help. I would have encouraged him to stop doing what he was doing. But because it was food, because it was lack of exercise, because it was cigarettes, I didn't feel the need to intervene. And I feel horrible because now my friend's dead. And now he died. I got to say, he must have been about 70 years old. But even that, like the last years were hard. Because the breathing and the lack of exercise and everything, like his body had just given out, and that's the result of that stuff, right? No different than somebody, finally succumbing to cirrhosis of the liver at 70, having abused alcohol their whole life. And if they did, you would have said something like, this alcohol is killing you. And nobody bothered to say anything because it was food. And that's what he's talking about here.
Right. Zero justice. So where this world is now, you can't say a motherfucking thing.
Right.
I do.
Yeah.
I still do. And
He
I always
does.
will. Don't like
Yeah, David Goggins is good for that. He don't give a man. I try. We beep that, right? Yeah, because we try to be. I try, and I do this mostly for my friend Alphonse. Hey, Alphonse. I really do try, and I'm trying to get better with it. I really am. On the other channel, not so much, but here I try to keep it to a minimum.
like me. Don't like me. I'm good with that.
I'm good with it too. You know, we talk about that, Walter and I. We talk about it. Like, look, I'm fat phobic, and you know, people are, you're fat. Listen, I'm okay with it. You want to hate me, you hate me. But one thing I know is none of you can argue with me, because I start arguing. I go on Quora, I go on Reddit, I do all these things, and people can't argue with me. I tell them, what are you, under 40? Okay, talk to me when you're 45, 50. Nobody over 40 argues with me about being fat, because over 40, you know how you feel. You know that your knees are hurting. You know your hips are hurting. You know the doctor's giving you. I had one friend, he tells me, I said, my God, and he's big dude. And I said, how's your heart? My heart's fine, right? He asked me, could you bring me to the doctor's appointment? Went to the doctor, and they're going, he's taking like 6 heart medications. I said, I thought you said your heart was fine. I did. It's fine because I take all my medications. I'm like, you know, I'm off all my medications. Like, all my medications. Make of that what you will. Anyway. Anyway. Because as I've lost the weight, as I've gotten healthier, as I've exercised and incorporated all these things into my life, I've lost that necessity for these things. You know, I have a prosthetic knee because of my adventures in food land. You know. Anyway, let's keep going.
That's exactly what's going on with life.
Look, you're right. Joe Rogan looks high as hell. Exactly what's going on, man. It's all a conspiracy. You mean the whole universe could be in my thumb? As Animal House.
Fat models.
That's it.
Fat models.
I'm
People
proud.
are like, you're beautiful no matter what.
No.
But that's not true.
No.
But that's not true. And he says it's such a fact. It's just not true. It's not. And here it comes.
I have no problem if you want to be fat.
Right.
I have no problem with
this.
anybody. If you want to be whatever the fuck you
and
want
I
to be.
agree.
But make sure if you're fat, go be fat. Go be real fat.
But let's be real. Nobody wants to be fat.
Nobody does.
Nobody
That's why
does.
I said it, man. Nobody does.
It's not true.
Right.
They will pretend. I'm fine with it. But if I could give you a button that you could push,
Yeah.
and boink,
Be skinny.
all of a sudden you'd have this incredible body.
Yep.
Everybody would push that button.
There isn't a person in the world that wouldn't push that button. Here's a button right here. You have to do no work. And why, right? Because you have to do no work. And this is a thing about addicts, right? And one of the books that I have, one of the 12-step programs, right? They have, it's great literature. And it says that people want the benefits of hard work without putting in the labor. You know what? Why do you think it sells so well to say, hey, you can just take this stuff every night before you go to bed and you're going to lose like 60 pounds in 3 days? You know how you lose 60 pounds overnight? Cut your fucking leg off. And that's it. I said it before. And don't do that, people. I'm kidding, obviously. This is sarcasm, right? So, I cut my leg off because this on the internet told me to do it. But he was right, though. You did lose weight instantly.
At least they can't run after you.
That's true. Anyway, but it's true. If you can push the button and get it done, and that's it, you know, you do it. You do it. Who wouldn't, right? And not me. I love looking like this.
But what happens is, man, we get in this world where it gets hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so the harder it is, the more you start to push back.
Right.
And the more you push back, and then it's not right for people to talk about. It's not right for, like, let's say you are fat.
Yeah.
I was fat. That's why I talk about it.
See, and if you know David Goggins, he is not kidding, man. He was a big guy, man. A big guy.
Go ahead and say something, motherfucker. I was fat too.
Yep.
And it was hard
Me
as
too.
fuck every fucking day to get up. I know what it feels like.
I was pushing nearly 300 pounds at 5'7". All right. I was fat.
When you roll your fat ass out of bed and all you want is some damn cinnamon buns and and chocolate milkshakes. I know what it is.
Yep.
I know exactly what it is. But I can't want it more than you.
Right. Right. I can't want it more than you do. You really have to want, no matter what it is in life, you have to want to improve, right? And one of my favorite sayings is that I can explain it to you, but I cannot understand it for you, right? I can go ahead and I can tell you what it's like and I can do this, but until you actually go out and experience it and do it for yourself, you're not going to know. Because that's what it takes. It takes dedication. And I got to want this more than anybody else. I'm in recovery. I've had people in recovery. One kid in particular is like, well, why should I want to do this? Why should you want? I don't give a don't do it. Like, I don't care. I want to care. Like, I want everybody to get this. I want everybody to live the best life possible. I really believe that what I'm doing now is leading me to lead the life and be the person God had always intended me to be. And yes, I believe in God. With all my heart, mind, and soul, I believe in God. I may not believe in a religious thing. I don't know about that, but I believe in God. Right? And I believe that God wants for all of us to be the best people we can be. And me being the best person I can be does not include me waking up in the morning and either taking 8 Percocets and lighting a cigarette right away, or like he's talking about, grabbing those cinnamon buns and the chocolate shake. That was, I had that was breakfast of champions, right? And you know, all of these things I did to abuse myself. I am doing things now. I am endeavoring to be what I was meant to be right from the beginning. Because this is it. We were meant to take care of ourselves and be the best people that we can be, and to give that back. And that's why I do a lot of what I do here. This is what I'm doing on these channels, whether it's this one or even the other one, where the Trash TV review, to try to help people, to bring them along and say, hey, look, stop doing this. Lead a better life, because you have this in you. You have the ability to change your life, but you gotta want to. I can't want it for you. It doesn't work that way. You've got to want to do this. And when you want to do this, nothing will stop you. Nothing. That little voice in the back of your head, you can tell it to f*** off, and you get up and you do it. And you only have to do it one day, today, not tomorrow, not next week. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. Get up and start today, because today can be the start of a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful life for you. And that's all it takes. And here we go. This is a man who did it. This is why I like David Goggins. I saw the before and after pictures. I said, if this motherfucker can do it, there we go. Here we go again. If this person can do it, so can I. He talks that way too, though. So,
and so many people just want it the easy way.
Right.
I'm sorry, man.
No.
It's not. So what they start to do is they build this narrative.
Right.
Of it's okay.
Right.
When the narrative should be, you need to work harder. You need to discipline your mind better.
There you go.
We need to help people more
right.
than just saying it's okay. It's okay.
And we did a great podcast on enabling. And that's what all that is. You enable yourself. You let other people enable you. You know, I love seeing fat parents complain about being fat, and then hand their kid, when their kid is screaming or something, handing them ice cream or Doritos or some other bullshit, right? Soda. Like, the worst thing you can put into your body is soda. Soda pop, I think they call it in the mid pop, right? It's the worst thing you can do to your body, like, is to put that crap in it. And they sit here with their fat little kids, right? Lamenting that they grew up fat and they were picked on their whole lives. And here they are doing the same shit to their kids. It borders on abuse, but they really don't know any better, right? This is how they were comforted as children. It's the cycle of mediocrity, and that's mine. We got to learn. We got to do it.
The words right.
Yeah. It is the cycle of mediocrity, and it keeps perpetuating itself. And we say it's okay. It's okay. Why is it okay for you to eat yourself to death? Why is it okay for you to put your kids through this stuff? You know, oh, but they feel so good. Oh, they come home from school and we bake cookies together. Oh, that's great. So you give them cookies so they don't eat dinner, but it doesn't really matter because dinner's just Kraft macaroni and cheese anyway. So what's the difference? Might as well eat the cake.
Might as well eat the box.
Great, exactly. In fact, I'll go you one better. Well, you'd be better off eating the box. At least there's no fat in it. It's just cardboard.
It's cards.
Yeah. And I can't, it all tastes good. All that shit tastes good, you know? I'm very fortunate. You know, when I started on this journey, the one thing I had going for me is I do like vegetables. I like fruit and vegetables. And I eat it all the time. I always have a big thing of salad in my fridge because that's what I do. I have salad every day. 2 times a day, lunch and dinner. I have a salad with it, and it fills me up, and I enjoy it. You know. Anyway, let's finish with this.
Willing to help yourself out. That's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay. It's not acceptable.
Right.
Even though it's your life, if that's acceptable, that's unacceptable.
Right.
And there's a lot of people in this world, me included, that if I accepted that, I wouldn't be anywhere. So yeah, a lot of people just they start creating a narrative about themselves that make it okay.
Yeah.
The ultimate get out of jail free card.
Right.
And now
And they sell it to themselves, and they have a bunch of enablers who do it. And anybody who speaks contrary to that, they get them out of their life. I don't want to talk to you, you know, because it's hard. Why do you have to put me down? You don't understand. I understand. I understand perfectly.
the world is set up to have so many get out of jail free cards.
Right.
Everything is okay, and you can't say a motherfucking thing about
Right.
it.
This is
The
what
man is not lying.
What's interesting though is that when you're talking about how you had to come to this realization that you'd become a part-time savage.
Yep.
Yeah.
This isn't recently.
Yeah, that's you're looking at 2000. No, it's not 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2018.
Not that long ago.
No, no.
Yeah. So even though you've been through all those things and you have all this information in your head,
This guy's he's a Navy SEAL and all that stuff. The first book was really good. You know, I'll read the second book too because I like the first one a lot. Can't Hurt Me or Can't Hurt This, whatever it was, one of those. It was really good. I enjoyed it, and 'cause he did. He's been through a lot. He had a tough experience growing up, and he decided he wanted to be a Navy SEAL. Like he got it in his head, and at the time he was like over 300 pounds, and you know, just a fat and. You know, and he was working as an exterminator in Indiana, I think it was, and he talks about his journey toward doing this. And I got to tell you, it has inspired me. It really did. It was one of the books that I read that inspired me to do what I'm doing with my life.
it's like there's no rest.
No.
You never get a chance. And if you do take a little time and start enjoying it, all of a sudden that general in the back of your head is like, hey,
Yep.
look what you're doing.
Exactly.
You're being a little bit. And so in your mind, you had gotten soft.
Oh, 100%. And my softness was still 2 days. So if you look in there,
2 days was you being soft.
my
Yeah.
part-time
He's
savage.
insane.
was me
Dude,
running like
I'm doing 2 a days now, and 2 a days is rough. I'm a lot older than him, and he's doing 2 a days and considers himself soft. This man is kind of nuts, but I love him. He's great, you know.
50 miles a week. Me fucking not, you know, because what I used to do and what I do now
Yeah.
is I got to a point, I'd be running. And I was like, okay, man, we could do 10 miles today.
That's
I
rough.
get to 10.
At my height, now I ran as a kid, you know, and at my height, I would do 7 miles, maybe 8 miles, right? And that's a lot. It may not sound like to me, it was a lot, you know. That's a lot of running, you know.
10 miles, like, oh no, motherfucker. That demon that I let out every morning that walks the streets at night, he comes say, no, not today, man. There's somebody out there that you don't know, have never met in your
That's
entire
okay,
life,
too.
that is doing 12, 13, 14.
I ain't crazy.
Do another one. And
Yeah.
when you meet him, you ain't going to be ready.
Yeah.
So Goggins kept on running.
Anyway, that's the video I wanted to share with you today. Yeah, we'll get out of that. And you know, and that's it. And David Goggins, good guy. Joe Rogan, good guy as well. They both work very hard at what they do. And no excuses. These guys, neither one of them. These are not excuse makers. And that's the direction I choose to go in my life today, is to stop making excuses, because I made tons of them. I grew up rough. My father killed himself. Oh, my kids died. And all valid. See, and that's the problem with those kind of excuses. They are valid excuses. But so what? What does that have to do with right now? What is the next best thing to do? Morita therapy. I told you I'm reading all these books on Morita therapy. It's great, man. It's a Japanese guy that lived in the early 20th century. And he came up with this idea, like, what's the next thing to do to stop making these excuses and stop living off all that past agony and stuff like that, and say, what do I need to do now to make my life better? What needs to happen next? What do I need to do right now to lift myself out of this? Because if I'm going to keep living in the land of dead children and suicidal parents and all that stuff, I might as well just shoot dope and get it done. You know, get it over with. I'm here to live a life. Life is not to be endured. Life is not to just be survived. Like, you don't do it. Life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to travel, see the world. God gave us this beautiful, beautiful place. Go travel it. And how do you do that? It's really hard to do that when you're 400 pounds, all right? You get in shape. You go hike trails. One of the things I'm doing this summer is hiking Half Dome. That's one of the goals that I have. We're going to hike Half Dome. Myself and my friend Jose, he's coming with me, and we're going to hike, man. We're going to hike Half Dome, and I'm excited for it. Like, these are the things that I can do with my life. You know, I want to hike down into the Grand Canyon. I remember going to the Grand Canyon. My knee was all banged up because I was way overweight, right? And I'm standing at the side. It's so nice down there. You know, these people hiking down, like, yeah, good for them. They probably have good knees. Yeah, because they're not fat, you know, because they're not eating 6 taco burritos at Taco Bell for lunch, you know? That's why. And I never wanted to put it, like, it was always somebody else's fault. Somebody, you know, I can do what I want. It's my, yeah, you can. You can. You want to sit home, eat yourself to death. That's your business. But don't expect me to say it's okay. Don't expect me to say, oh, you're healthy at any size, or you're pretty at any size. Because what he said is right. If I put that button right here and I said, push this, and there's no work involved, there's no sweat, there's no labor, there's nothing. You push this button right here, and you could have the body you always wanted to have. You could have the body you always dreamed of, right? You push that button every time. And if you wouldn't, I'd like to hear from you. If you wouldn't do that and you really are happy, then God bless you. God bless you. Anyway, this is the Change Your Life podcast. My name is Dwight Gillespie. I wish you all very well. Have a wonderful week. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Don't forget, hit that subscribe, like, comment, notification, all that good shit. Go ahead and get it done. Be well. Bye now. I know I swore again.